Hello. How's everybody doing out there? YDBT Daily, YDBT a little late today because I was busy trying to do a crank relearn on this 25 F150 that UPR was nice enough to let me borrow so we can put a tune on it, do some vetting on the cold air, do some vetting on their catch can system, and then eventually kind of figure out why this check engine light in stock form popped up. If you guys watched the video yesterday that I made live at 5:30 or so, the F150, after doing a 0 to 60 on the 1223 shift, decided to throw a misfire code, P0300. And after that, we cleared it, drove it to Lund Racing, tuned it, same code kept coming up, and we're like, we're not going to go into the matrix and start disabling codes. We want to see why this is happening. So when I came back, it still had some issues, so I hoped that Jake was able to, go with the Ford IDS tool and get in there. And believe it or not, guys, the Ford IDS tool does not communicate with this truck. And I thought, oh, maybe it's because it has a tune in it. We went to his F350 with a Godzilla motor in it, and it did not communicate with that computer either. So I think it's either too new or the software, the firmware is not up to date. But it'll be interesting to see if more trucks or more vehicles untuned, when you actually go wide open throttle, if they start to exhibit issues. And I took this opportunity to learn because I know what's going to happen. Somebody eventually is going to meet the system and say, oh, this is 100% a tune issue. And I can always point back to the fact that I had this truck, had this video, and it misfired live on the video. So then people can't talk that shit. We'll talk about that. We're also going to talk about, is this new stuff better? Like, after you get past the doohickeys and all of the nannies that these cars come with, is this a better truck, or is it just the same truck with more nannies? And then does that lend itself to the thought process of, it's probably not a better truck, more stuff is there to distract you, and is that what people want? Also, Junior put up a post on Instagram of a Raptor R being tuned. And I remember when the TRX and the Raptor R were coming out, I said, if you want to be latest and greatest and go faster, you have to have the TRX. And because I like the 8 HP 90, I think that comes with it, and it's a Hellcat motor in the TRX, I still think mod for mod, the TRX is probably better. But now that the Raptors are able to be tuned, you can treat them exactly like you would the GT500. We'll talk about that and many more things, but not before Mr. Bill O'Reilly tells us to do it live.
Okay. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
It does suck, but you know what does not suck? PMAS, Nick James and PMAS. The PMAS cold air intake has been working perfectly on these 24 and up F150s. It's the same part number, 2015 all the way to 2025. Ford did not change the cold air in this thing at all. So you can just pretty much any F150 Gen 2 and up, you buy the same part number from PMAS. That is a nice upgrade to your cold air intake. Check them out. PMAS, Nick James, PMAS, DNF Performance, DNFperformance.com. You can get your PMAS cold air intakes there. You can get 4 Innovations fuel systems there. I actually got an idea from somebody. They said that I should do a video of outlining a fuel system, and I thought that was a good idea, so I might do a standalone video on that subject matter. But Ford Star wheels, superchargers, you name it. I'm not mentioning certain turbo companies anymore either, because the only trouble tickets in my system are this company's fucking turbo systems. Fuck that place. Part Farm, partfarm.com. Use Mustang, Camaro, F150, you name it parts. Cranker pallets, pullouts. You can couple them with power by the hour, standalones, transmissions, wheels, tires. They ship. Good stuff. Discounted. Hashtag YDB did checkout. If that doesn't work, text Rob and say, Rob, give me a deal. Two Auto Solution. Remember, down Auto Solution got a bunch of trucks, bunch of F150s, bunch of 24 and up Mustangs, dark horses to get tuned. Check them out in Caguas, Puerto Rico. They're at 2,000 elevation. I just figured out why their cars see so much timing. They're up in a fucking mountain. And Belak Industries, BelakIndustries.com. Damien loves to go fast in a boat, so make sure you buy some wheels from him so that you can go fast in a boat. And also, we're going to go to richprince.com/YDBT. You're going to support me by buying stuff. And if you want to show support, do it by buying hats, YDBT hats, Amory hats, YDBT, what is it? Fishnet, trucker style, Amory, trucker style, Dolo, YDBT flat, and Amory flat. Section 8, hoodies, shirts, Hush Money hoodie shirts, ZR50 shirts, Booty Juice, Elote Juice, Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, and GT350, Save the Manuals shirts, 85 to 86 Mustang, Save the Manual shirts, 8793 Aero and GT, 1320 Videos, F1320. This is really kicking off because I never thought I would have a lineup like this. So you guys can go in there and have some fun, and you want some shirts and some merch, check it out. So we'll say hi to the people here. We'll talk a little bit about 24 and up tuning, truck, Mustang. Is it better, or are you just basically distracted with all the nannies that they got going on? Michael Rodriguez, Redbird, El Verga Larga, Nick Bilavesh, Connor, Frank Donahue, Jake J, Robo Styles, E33 I'm sorry about my voice. It's just shot. Monty 540, Joe Swish, The Fish, Mark Christensen, El Verga Larga, Eggs on Devil Dog, Craig Walls. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I kind of dig the 8:30 p.m. start. Me too. It might start being a thing. 50 Stallion, Joe Jackson, John Bonanno, more pews, more booths, because people are up to like 10 watching the show anyway. Clint Stroke, Stuart D, Wesley Stewart, Faisal D, 1320 Videos, TJ Skorsky, Guy Bravo, Juice Machina, Kyle Winsky, Clean 93GT, Michael Rodriguez, Toilet Dumper, D-Rock Fox, Jer Store, RC Connection, F1320. RC Connection, do you have like a connection to RC shit? Do you have like parts like Traxxas T-Max parts? I might need some wheels and tires. CJM, 5 hosts, spam the shit out of the chat. Ski Mask Man, Big Gun, Ski Mask Man, 2JZ, Fox Body, Gibran, Baeza, Slow99, one of the mods. Man, there's a lot of people here. Ski Mask 50, Carlos Duran, Mustang Dennis, Begalos, and all the usual suspects. Let's get right to it because I can name names forever. There's a lot of people on already. So we'll talk some shit a little bit about the 24 and up tuning. So the video that dropped yesterday on the channel did pretty well. Again, all I need is 5,000 or something views in like the first 2 or 3 days, and that thing is perfect. It makes the right money, the right viewership. It doesn't need to be a world beater right off the bat, because at the end of the day, it's going to end up at about 15 to 25,000 views in about 6 months. So I'm just basically putting money in the bank. It's an investment. It's mining Bitcoin, basically. So this F-150 has me kind of perplexed because it's a Super Crew short bed, highly optioned, $73,000 or $74,000 truck. And I thought to myself, this is not a truck I would ever put turbos to. Our RC Connect says, no, sir, but I can get you to the right places. Understood. So I thought to myself, this is a family hauler. This is what station wagons used to be. This is a do-everything vehicle. This is not the truck if I wanted to go racing. The truck, if I wanted to go racing, would be a $47,000 to $52,000 regular cab short bed. I have owned a regular cab short bed. It was a very bad experience. You couldn't put anything in the back. There is no room to move backwards. You can't just throw stuff out back. It's not comfortable. It's not good to drive. But if you want to just have a truck that's four-wheel drive, basically a four-wheel drive heavy Mustang, I think it's great. But again, you got to live somewhere where they do mostly dig racing. Or you got to make 11 or 1,200 horsepower at the wheels to be able to have a roll race with someone and be competitive. Because if you have a 3,300 pound ZR1 that goes 420s, well, your F-150 needs to make damn near 1,100 at 4,000 plus pounds to get going, unless you got it. So this truck was kind of like perplexing. I didn't really understand its place in the performance realm. Now, if you want a truck that's going to be your only vehicle, this is your only vehicle, I get it. It's, let's say you're a single guy or you have a small family of two or, let's say 2-3 kids, tops. Well, that's not small, 2 kids. I think it's perfect. It's a highly optioned truck. You can tow the boat, do many things, go shopping. It is your only vehicle. I would not throw a blower on that vehicle. I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't go out of my way and throw a blower on that vehicle. What I would throw a blower on or turbo kits on is a toy, a regular cab short bed situation. If you're going to buy a Tremor or Roush, by the way, I think, and I'm not 100% sure on this, that Roush is going to use their old blower on their new Roush truck, meaning the intercooler is at the bottom. I don't think, and again, I don't know the nuts and bolts of everything working. I don't think it'll have the launch edition, style blower that Magnuson makes for the trucks. So I'm kind of like perplexed on that situation, but we'll talk about that another day. So I after experiencing what I experienced, meaning a truck that drives okay, the stock tune is absolute butt cheeks. I'm telling you guys, it is so bad that if I was to never consider tuning a truck, I would never buy the F-150. The throttle calibration is so bad. The shift schedule is so bad. The power delivery is so bad that I thought to myself, after driving a tuned version of that, it makes the stock tune look that bad. Now, you wouldn't know any better because there was no tuning available for 2 years if you bought it back in 2023 or 2024. But after driving a tuned truck, no way would I go back to a non-tuned vehicle like that. So I think this F-150 is not any better than 18 to 23. Now, 21 to 23 was a big difference because of the MG computer. So the shifting was improved because of the torque reduction strategy. Let's just keep it very generic. The torque reduction strategy had a very aggressive and quick spark cut. So it sounded more like how Chevy was doing their spark cut on their Camaros, on their Escalades, on their Silverados. Now, Ford seems to have instituted a similar spark cut in their MG computer, which I think the new MG computer is a 55. So I think that computer is a little better when tuned to be able to reduce torque or, not reduce torque and let it shift a little more firmly. And the throttle calibration Junior worked on was excellent. I thought he did an excellent job. It's an evolution of his tuning thought process that I think is going in the right direction. Normal mode, go watt, it cuts spark really nice, but really nice. When you put it in sport mode, that 1-2 shift is crisp. The 2-3 is lurches forward. And I went, man, you nailed it. So I think he did a really good job. Sport mode is like drag mode. Normal mode is like a sporty mode. And I think you guys are really going to appreciate that if you get your F-150's tuned. But it didn't make it so great that I thought this truck was better than the previous generation. I never thought, man, this is way better than 18 to 20 or 21 to 23. I thought it was about the same. Now, does it have all the nannies? Does it have the big screen? Does it have the dual exhaust, which comes factory in 25 F-150s? They all seem to come with the dual exhaust, which is a center muffler with 2 tips. That's all it is. It's basically an 85 GT. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. But is it $70,000 cool? Is it better than 18 to 23? If you're going to play the RCSB game, is it better? I say no. Now, that's not to say that you shouldn't buy it, because I'm getting a lot of people in my inbox, Patreon, Instagram, Facebook, believe it or not. Fucking Facebook is for grandmothers. I can't believe I interact with people on Facebook of all places. Jesus Christ. So, should I get it? I'm like, what do you want to do? What are you going to use this for? What are you going to use this F-150 for? Are you going to have a family hauler? Is this your only vehicle? What do you want to do? So now I'm back to that question with everyone that wants to buy the latest and greatest, including Mustang. What do you want to do? You want a twin turbo 10R80 car? They're already out there. Do you want that specific body style? Totally understand. Do I think it's better? Not yet. Or I don't think it'll ever be better because it's a slightly heavier car. Maybe the motor's a little bit stronger, but not that much stronger. That makes me go, I'll be comfortable at 1,000. No, I'm still really uncomfortable at about 900, just like Gen 3, just like Gen 2. DI shit. The cars are so new. Are they going to have DI issues? Are they going to have potential issues down the road? The cars are so new, you're not experiencing issues yet. Influencers that were buying these cars, clout chasers that were buying these cars, giveawayers, smoke the transmission back in the day, put a built version in there without tuning being available, and probably never shifted right. Now there's tuning available. Do we have parameter access to that specific calibration? Because there are, I'm not going to give too much away, but you tuners that don't understand that once a built transmission goes in there, you got to change some stuff. It'll be interesting to see in the long run if these are better, but right now they're not. Right now they're not. So I'm kind of blown away as to the mad dash of people trying to get in on this. And then after they're $70,000 in or $55,000 in on a GT, they're in the same performance realm that previous generation Mustangs were in. So what are you gaining? Yeah, latest and greatest. You're extending tuning a little bit, and you're allowing the workflow for new Mustangs, meaning parts, fuel systems, things to support the aftermarket on the 24 and up are being supported. So transmissions, converters, fuel systems, different manifolds, whatever. Yes, that is extending tuning. Is it better than the previous generation? I still say no. I'm one of those guys that goes, it's on par, not better. Once tuning gets, let's say, more refined, because look, the initial tuning that goes out there goes through 3 or 4 iterations before this generation is up. To this day, we're still updating 21 and up calibrations and 18 and up calibrations. Gen 1, Gen 2 is figured the fuck out. If you're still updating something, you think you found something, let me tell you something, you didn't find shit. It's been there, figured out, whatever. Gen 3 though, and Gen 4, there's still gonna be some nannies. So we can, talk about that a little bit. Also, Junior is pretty active on Instagram when it comes to talking about the tuning at Lund Racing, and he released a little, a quick little, video, which I think he does really well. This is a Raptor R. Remember, 5.2 supercharged, 10 R80. The way GT500 should have come. So Raptor R, going through some gears. 115 in AI. It's an AI generated video, and then he put a ghost cam tune on it. So now this is going to be the in my opinion the battle. TRX versus Raptors. That's right, TRX versus Raptor. No, the fish. You don't have to go under the hood any longer. Directly to the OBD2 port, no more underhood stuff, no more shipping your computers out. That has been talked about nonstop, so stay on it. So let's say now you bought a Raptor R that was not tunable and you were getting your ass handed to you by tuned TRXs. Now you have the ability to port the blower, pulley down, bigger injector, better bricks, better lid, E85 tuning, built 10R80s, converters. Now it's party time. But you're 2 years late to the party. TRX has had so much development. They're now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Ripatoon and all the guys he's got beef with, which is hilarious to watch. They just fucking hate each other and they talk that shit. They are, I think knocking, if I'm not mistaken, knocking on the door of the 8s with a TRX. I don't know that a TRX has gone 8 yet. But the fact that a Raptor R has, in my opinion, a better chance of running a number than a GT500 minus the weight is hilarious. Imagine if the GT500 did not have a DCT. Alexi Gomez, thank you so much. I'm not up on game with Ripatoons, but I know that he is twin turboing everything. Him and Hefner. I forget the guy's name, but then DBR fucks with them too. And then another guy up in like the PA, New Jersey, Delaware area, they also fuck with these cars. A 8-second Raptor R, in my opinion, if someone really hated money, boy, I hate money, they would get, I don't know, a ported to death Raptor R 2650, not a Whipple 3.8. I'm sorry, a 2650, 20%, the thimble on top, built transmission, Circle D, Circle K, pure, whoever makes a converter for these things, and you can get after it. And I think if someone really wanted to get after it, it's going to be a problem. And then people are going to go, that's what's possible? A GT500 motor and a 10R80 can move a big-ass truck like that consistently? Yeah. So imagine if the GT500 had a 10R80. Now, can it be done? Well, technically, yes. Because the Raptor exists. So if the Raptor exists, what is stopping someone from building a 10R80 GT500? Sounds crazy? I don't know. We'll see by winter time if this truck starts getting after it. This is on 37s, moving like that. I'm not saying it's going to be a world beater 8-second truck, but what I'm going to say is that the 10R80 is going to complement that 5.2 and that blower so well, people are going to start going, and GT500s are in the $80,000 range. Still high, and the Heritage Edition bullshits are in the $100,000 range still, which is mind-blowing. It's an S550. But I think it'll be interesting to see if somebody gets after it, or a shop urges someone to get after it just to swing their dicks a little bit and eventually have a rivalry between the TRX, which is coming back. Rumors are Ram is bringing back, and Tim Kuniskis is bringing back the Ram. So then there is fresh competition for that audience. If a Cobra or variant of supercharged Mustang comes out, bet me it is tunable right away if they use the current computer. If they use the current computer that is on Mustangs today, I think that car is tunable right away. So that's good for the tuning aftermarket. That's good for the aftermarket in general, and with the very friendly administration, Lee Zeldin loosening EPA strongholds on emission stuff, Trump rolling back emission stuff, Lee Zeldin saying get rid of the Obama stuff, pre-08. That just makes everything better in this industry specifically. So I think there's going to be a interesting next 2 years, in my opinion, with tuning, where we can kind of do whatever the fuck we want as long as you don't break any laws. Obviously, there's still laws in the books, but you can do it more comfortably because you have a very friendly administration in there that's willing to just let things go. You know what? I really wish there was a guy that was saying this like a year ago. Like, was there a guy online saying, if you vote for this administration, they're going to make it easier for people who are in this industry to operate? Forgot the guy's name. Guy was a very handsome fella. I think it would also show if the 8 HP 95 versus the 10R80, who's stronger. The TRX is 500 pounds heavier, but the TRX is on 35. Why a hypothetical 10R80 swap over ZF8 on the GT500, Theo? Because of the gear split. I think the gear split on the 10R80 is more favorable if that transmission holds up. I would think someone could install a 10R80 into a GT500 along with a Raptor ECU. Both are map. Both are map. What is stopping somebody from going, let me put a Raptor ECU in there, and what's pinned different? Like, tuners, let's do some thinking. Even you guys that copy everything. What is different mechanically between a Raptor R motor and computer versus a GT500 motor and computer? Same blower, same throttle body, slightly different balancer on the blower, and maybe the oil cooler location. But like hardware-wise, what the fuck's the difference? So why can't you put a 10R80 in a GT500? Because this is what is gonna do. Instant, consistent 8-second runs. Again, instant, consistent 8-second runs. You dumb motherfuckers. I've already built this car to be a drag car with a DCT like a dumb son of a bitch. So now someone starts swapping 10R80s in these GT500s and they have instant, oh my God, destroyer. Jesus Christ. No way you said that. How can I teach these? What have I been saying? You know, that's why I don't go to meet. That's why I don't go outside. That's why I don't go outside. I don't go outside anymore because of this. I am literally saying to swap it. And you guys go, well, the TCM's different. You swap. I can't talk to you guys. Alex, what about the misfire on the F150? Can't figure it out. It is a general misfire, not specific to a code. Try to hook up an IDS tool. IDS tool does not communicate with that new of a vehicle. Jake then tried it on his F250, does not communicate with that either. So it doesn't come up under 6,000 RPM, but over, and again, stock, it did this. Lord have mercy on him. I'm just blown away. Getting the ECU and the body control module to talk to each other will probably be the problem. I don't think so. The CAN addresses might be different, right? The CAN addresses for the data that it's spitting out. But something tells me it's possible. But obviously not easy. But it takes a brain to figure it out. And someone's going to do it. Someone's going to put, look, it's tunable. There's a tunable Raptor, right? Boom. So why can't, theoretically, you can make a 10R80 go into a GT500? It fucking fits. Drive shaft, the part number exists. And then figure out the tuning with a specific computer or whatever. What is the max horsepower 93 octane? Who cares? That's why I put a question mark. Chuck, it's the same part number for all Mustang models 21 to 23. Could you actually feel the misfire when the CO is flashing? No, not really. No bucking or anything, but I did replace the spark plugs. And the spark plugs are funky looking on these things, and I'm going to post a video. Actually, I have a video here. Let me see. Do I have a video here of the have you guys seen the spark plugs for 21 and up F150? They're wild looking. They're goofy, wild looking things. Let me see. Look at these. They're goofy, wild looking things. And look at the condition they were in. These are 2,000 mile spark plugs. That's right. 2,000 mile spark plugs on this thing. And I was absolutely blown away how dirty they look, how brown they look. Nothing wrong with being brown. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can get a really close-up photo. Yeah, here we go. Boom, boom. Look at that. These are, again, when I talked about how modern Ford stuff is not made the same way as it used to be, I'm coming from a place of experience. I'm looking at it. I'm like, these are... The truck had 1,900 miles when I got it. I'm sorry, 1,600 miles when I got it. Now it has 2,100 miles. I drove it a lot. And they look like shit. So I'm going, what is happening? So what I'm going to do to UPR is I'm going to deliver the truck back and I'm going to say, drive it, treat it like normal. If a misfire comes back, you got to take it to a dealership because this is a OEM problem. And thank goodness I have the video of it happening on the bone stock calibration, because what's the first thing you blame if a tune happens and then a misfire comes up? The tune. A tune cannot cause a misfire. Can it make a misfire more likely? Maybe. Debatable, depending on how, like, you'd have to literally fudge something. Now, a PO315 is totally different. That is not a misfire. A PO315 means you need a crank relearn so it can learn the flywheel mass and then everything's happy. But to cause a misfire, it's not, generally, it's not possible in a tune. I'm just saying somebody can really fat finger something and cause a misfire. But the fact that that looked that bad after friggin' 1,500 miles, and plugs were $144. I'm not going to charge them, obviously, because I wanted to learn. And that's the best thing about having access to these vehicles. You learn and you go, okay, I know how to change spark plugs. I know what the deal is. I've seen misfires on stock calibrations. And if I tune a guy with a 24 from 50, he goes, it's misfiring, PO 300, yup, return it to stock, go back to the dealer because it's not a tune issue. Yes, Jake at PBH. Would Coyote swap, 10R80 swap a GT500 if he had a customer that was willing to do it? I'm that guy. Like when I say, Jake, I need your help, it's always something really difficult. And he's like challenged by it, but appreciates what I'm doing. Dio doesn't go to car shows. They don't know what the fuck. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Thank you so much. They don't know.
That they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
That's Ford.
That they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
And, this is the only reason that, not the only reason, but seeing spark plugs like that on an F150 that did not get beat until I got it was mind-blowing. I'm like, these are nasty looking. So I was blown away by the whole situation. Saludos from Salas. Is it because of the octane booster in it or race gas? I remember you mentioned it. I used octane booster, but 1 can of octane booster to like 30 gallons will not make plugs look that bad. And the truck never saw like more than, again, stock spark, 24, 23 degrees. Those are really long looking plugs. They are long. Off topic. No, let's stay on topic. Thank you. Could be the coils, boots, loose connections. I checked everything. The coils are Mandingo coils. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what the? It is a special process to do plugs in this thing. You need it's not a 5/8, it's small. And then You need a magnet to get them out because I didn't have the socket with the boot on it that had the smaller diameter. So I had to get a magnet in there. So imagine you got to put the thing in there and then extend the magnet. Unless you have one of those magnets that bend, I would highly suggest if you have a 24 and 21 and up F150 to get one of those magnets that's like bendy so you can get at the spark plugs easy, because it was not easy. And then to put them back in, I basically had to throw them into the abyss. Just be like, here you go. Hopefully you land in the right spot. Oh, and the spark plug coming out were gapped to 40 thousandths. I checked the gap. Got a tool right here. For those of you that still check your spark plug gap with that quarter size thing, it blows my mind. I got a shim set here, and I ended up sticking them in there, and it was 40 thousandths. I said 40 thousandths? It calls out for 48 to 50 stock. So, this truck concerned me. It was made during COVID times, or designed during COVID times. It has a new computer, DOD system. Remember, these things have that cylinder on demand thing, which is disabled with a Lund tune. And I was just kind of blown away how the plugs looked after a short life, but we'll see how all that pans out. Diddy coils. Brown is fine as long as the gap is pink. Hey, yo, I like it. I think Jake appreciates you challenging him. You know what? I spent $10,000 with him already, I think, this year. Yeah, probably 10 grand. See, and it's not a relationship based on money or anything. It's like, dude, you challenged me to do cool shit. And imagine, I had him design a cold air. I had him design a bell housing. I had him design motor mounts. I had him design an oil pan. I had him design so many cool things that he's like, we could probably make 3 or 4 part numbers based on this. And I am funding the R&D, but he obviously has to do the work. So once it comes back, we're going to then see about a power steering solution, because I want to use the power steering pump. But if we need to put a Volvo electric pump in there, we'll do so. But I would love to use a power steering pump so that in the event that somebody wants to coyote swap their C6 or C5, because I think they're backwards compatible, maybe even C7, but I'm not 100% sure on that because of the CAN bus stuff. But C5 and C6, I think they're so analog that I think it's not going to be an issue. I think Jake wants to make something for that, so that'll be 4 part numbers from the Corvette. I think he likes the challenge. He is one of those guys that really appreciates a challenge. Begalo says, when tuning F-150s that are primarily daily drivers, but tow occasionally, do you use different transmission calibration for the 1080? No. We let the tow haul mode do tow haul mode things. You can manipulate the calibration to have different shift firmness in sport mode than in normal mode. And that's what we do on the 24 and up F-150. So we end up going normal mode, it wide open throttle, it hits a shift at the same shift point, but the firmness is different than in sport mode. So if you want to go racing somebody, you click over to sport mode, the shifts will be firmer. In normal mode, they'll shift at the same RPM, but they'll be softer, there's more spark cut, da-da-da-da-da. Tow haul mode is left alone. All of the stuff that makes tow haul mode great, the downshift rev matching, the holding the gear, the shifts, the torque converter lockup is left alone. And we kind of like go through that whole thought process. But you got to understand one thing, guys. We assume you come to Lund Racing for a performance tune. Why else would you do a performance? Why would you get a tune if you're going to run an 87 octane? Why would you get a tune if you're going to mostly tow? Why would you get a tune if you're never going to go do spirited driving and this is a daily driver? I get it. I'm probably turning a lot of people off. But look, I only would tune a vehicle if I want to enhance its performance. Matter of fact, the name of the company is called Lund Racing, not Lund Daily Driving, not Lund Towing, not Lund 87 Octane. It's Lund Racing. So when you look at that part of the name and it says racing, you go, do I want my F-150 to go racing or do I want to tow the boat to the launch? I might want to leave it alone because I'm not looking to go racing and look for a performance tune from a racing calibrator. Please use common sense there. Hey, Alex, is the Lund LRX device able to tune the S650 yet? Yes. LRX tuning is live for the S650 and the 24 F150. Volvo power steering pump is good in used. The Dodge Durango one is also very good. Used a lot in drifting, ESP, SF50 with hydro conversion. That's what I thought. I trust this chap more than Google for certain information. Trying to convince Buddy to get a PMAS over any intake. Bryson Witt literally saw the light when, again, I didn't urge him to get a PMAS. He has an 11 to 12 1112 GT500 built motor, the whole nine, cammed, all this stuff. And he had a JLT 148, which is very common for GT500 owners because they're gay. And they think 148 is bigger than 120, so it should make more power. Anyway, so I had talked so much about it that he must have come across some money because he is just buying shit now. And he's like, you know what? Let me try one of these PMAS cold air intakes. So he goes and buys on an already tuned vehicle. The tune is done. See you later. Enjoy your summer. Buys a PMAS. Okay. Send the tune. And he's like, what the fuck? I go, what do you mean? He goes, dude, the chop is gone. I go, the idle chop? He goes, yeah, it's gone. I'm like, is that good or bad? He goes, I don't know, it's super smooth. All right, go drive it. Holy shit, it drives great. I said, I can tweak it a little bit. I can make it a little better. Lower the RPM a little bit, idle air, tweak some stuff. He's like, oh my God, I can leave a light on clutch only. A cammed built GT500. I can leave a light. Ooh. He's like, the slinky test passes. Now, what changed mechanically? The most important part on the whole car. The device that measures the airflow and the weight of the air coming in. The temperature, the speed, and the amount of airflow coming into the car, which is highly dependent on math, has a very solid, clean signal, and everything rides great because it sees a clean, nice, non-turbulent signal. So when I say PMAS is the only cold air that matters, people are like, why? Because the most important part on most MAF equipped vehicles is the MAF sensor itself. It's the first line of defense that dictates everything behind it. The moment the air hits the mass airflow sensor, boom, the mass airflow sensor goes, how much air is there? What is the temperature of the air? What is the weight of the air? Because it measures pounds a minute and the frequency. So then it goes, calculates torque based on the tune, calculates injector flow, calculates throttle angle, calculates everything. The mass airflow sensor is the end all be all of modern Mustang tuning. Obviously, they went to map with 24. That tells you how the car drives, how much air it sees, how much air load, how much spark, throttle angle, everything is dictated by the mass airflow sensor. So if the mass airflow sensor sees a wonderful laminar, look it up, clean air signal, it's just going to drive great. That's all. PMAS always. Parker, I'm not scared. What's up with Parker? Let's get you an LRX 93 Flex and E85 tune package. Dude, let's do it. Let's sell that shit. I just bought an RTD from 24 EcoBoost Raptor. Can I use it to also finally tune my Boomer Car Show 22 GT500? Yes. If you have a, well, yeah. I think you could do the RTD or the MPVI for the GT500. You just have to pay for the credits and you can do it. Or I'm not sure if we can do LRX yet on it, to be honest with you. I want to tune my Navigator because the shifts are too smooth, and I'm sure that's not a good thing while towing. It's not great. Parker's here. I love it. We had a JLT 123 in the ticket system recently that only measured 108 millimeter. Yeah, those are GT500 guys that get a resonator deleter. They get a resonator deleter. They get a resonator deleter.
We have an MDRP resonator deleter.
So 07 to 2014 GT500 owners, for whatever reason, were co-opted by JLT. JLT, the absolute shittiest cold air data-wise I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not just saying that because I dislike the old owner, but the new owner is S&B. Those cold airs are shit. I have literally, I tune them for a living. I tune them. I'm like, here you go. I'll tune them. Here you go. For whatever reason, GT500 owners are in love with that intake because it's red, I think. Oh, JLT's this is every GT500 owner homo on the planet. The plate that says who built the motor is shiny as shit. And they know the guy's phone number, you know? They have a JLT catch can, aka a oil inducer, on the passenger side and one on the driver's side, and a JLT cold air intake. That is every freaking 07 to 14. Like, what a absolute mind job JLT did on those guys to make them believe that you had to have these. You had to have them. If not, there's going to be a problem. Oh, and you need a fucking green belt too, dipshit. That's right. You need a green belt too on your 15 PSI boosted piece of shit. Green belt, JLT oil separators, and a JLT cold air intake. And then someone had the bright idea of making 148 millimeter cold air, right? So like it's wafting. It's not even moving air across the map. It's like, the air's not like, no, the air's like, I'm sort of around it. And then when you give it gas, it creates enough velocity to actually have some resolution, right? So then this guy, who is a nobody, gets a cold air from PMAS and Nick James. He shows me the data. He shows me that you don't need to change the tune. It's the same tune. I'm like, huh. I didn't know anything about it. I put it in my car after having a JLT for 2 years on my car. And I went, son, actually, no, I had a JLT and I got sick and tired of the car stalling all the time. I installed the Roush 110 millimeter phase 2 cold air back in there. It was phenomenal, but it was 110 millimeter. So then Nick James was like, hey buddy, I got this cold air, kind of cool. You might want to check it out. Checked it out. I'm like, it idles really smooth and it drives really smooth. He goes, yeah, it's, you know, this, and it starts talking about laminar airflow. And I'm just like, very nerdy talk. And I'm just like, okay. It drove great. So then all of a sudden, I worked for a company that started stocking them, and every fucking car I tuned that had that cold air just worked. So I don't come from a place of like disliking something because of personal reasons. I dislike something because it doesn't work. And you guys are duped into buying it. So 07 and 14 GT500 owners were, for whatever, in love with JLT. This is all to say that they think a resonator delete, which is like a stock cold air with like a different elbow that mates to the stock MAF sensor, was a 123. So they go, I got a JLT 123. And I'm like, okay, here you go. It's 40% rich. Send me a picture of your engine bay. And then there it is. And I go, ooh. Wait. I go, ooh. What's that smell?
What's that smell? Sasso, man. That's Sasso. Used to be wrong.
That's a stock cold air, son. What do you mean? It says JLT on it. Yeah, it's a resonator deleter. It's a resonator deleter.
MPRP resonator deleter.
Fuck out of here. Are you seeing issues with the new TJ67s? Does Howdy Doody have a wooden dick? Anyone under 30 is like, who the fuck's Howdy Doody? So, this is Howdy Doody. In case you want to know who the fuck Howdy Doody is. It's a puppet made out of wood. So when you ask a question and I say, does Howdy Doody have a wooden dick? That's a boomer way of saying, fuck yes. It's like saying a bear shit in the woods. But then there are polar bears. So then a bear shitting in the woods cannot be used because polar bears don't shit in the woods. How bad is the process with an MPVI and a Lund tune? The wife gifted me for my birthday with asking me more questions. RC Connection, you might want to see a lawyer because she hates you. But that 90 millimeter throttle body, but my buddy said, but guy on Facebook. I can speak from experience that I had a P51 and went to PMAS and the car started up and ran perfectly. What are you talking about, Joshua Rojas? Don't you know that a P51 with a vacuum cleaner, the golf ball goes at least 3 inches higher than with a PMAS? Proving? I've never seen a more ridiculous test in my life, guys. Somebody hooked up a vacuum cleaner and like a golf ball or like a what is that? Not what is paddle? The light one. And they're like, P51 cooled air, and it went up. Oh, sorry, PMAS cooled air, and it went up like 3 inches. And then P51 cooled air, and it went up like 6 inches. Like, see? on a home vacuum cleaner. And I thought, these are the people I'm arguing with? Ping pong. Thank you. Fuck me. Ping pong. These are the people I'm arguing with? People that have a ping pong test? Not a flow bench. A ping pong test? And then where does that intake end up? In front of the freaking fog light. So, this is, if there was a microphone near the P51 as you're going down the highway at 50 miles an hour, this is what you would hear. While the PMAS is drawing air, your P51 at 1500 RPMs in 6th gear is getting air blown right into it. And you're like, why does it drive like shit? And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe you should stick a vacuum cleaner back there because that's the only way you can see it. Whatever. I don't care. PMAS cold air intakes based on the data are the best ones you've ever seen. I have a 149, same tune. 120, same tune. It's pretty crazy how repeatable the data is. And that's why I think it's the best. Because Injector Dynamics has a great injector. Why does Injector Dynamics have a great injector? Does Injector Dynamics need different injector data for the same vehicle across the board? Do you as a tuner trust Injector Dynamics so much that you don't even bother messing with the injector data because you trust that Paul and all the other people involved lick that shit lickety split like they got it? So if you tell the customer PMAS cold air 1050X Vortec math curve and the car is 40% lean, I go, check your shit. I verified it's 1050X's. I verified, PMAS doesn't matter. But let's say an NA car. 18 manifold, 1050X's, PMAS cold air, 40% lean. Not my shit. I trust 1050X data. Do you trust 1050X data, tuner? Tuner out there listening right now, tell me how you feel about 1050X data. You feel so good about 1050X data that you don't even question the shit. Unless they come out with a new injector. And then you go, hey, we found some stuff with the new injector that this and this and that. The data you provided was a little wonky. And they're like, oh, shit, my bad. And then they fix it. But generally, 1300, 1000, 1050X, and 1700 data, you do not think that's a problem. The same way you should be thinking about PMAS. The same exact way you should be thinking about PMAS. You go, got a PMAS cold air. Alex told me that's the one to get. 1050X's, that's the one Alex told me to get. And then you got a Roush blown car. And it runs great, and it idles great, and it doesn't stall. And you're like, fuck, nailed it. And then, why do I want that combo repeated all over the place? Not because it's easy for me to make. It's going to make your car run the best. So why wouldn't I want to copy paste a combo that works? Like Ford doesn't go, you know what? We're going to give this GT Predator cams and we're going to give this GT 3-valve cams. We're quirky like that. Let the tuner figure it out. No, they don't do that. Data never lies. Marketing often does. Late to the party. Not sure if this has been said, but 2020 and up use FDRS, not IDS. Yeah, we got it. My 2020, Jake knows what to use. My 2020 F150 went back and forth with the dealership with a misfire on one DI pump and set a spark plug later. It turned out to be a bad batch of DI injectors. Imagine if it's a DI injector on this thing. I'm going to tell Joe, hey Joe, this is what's going on. What does a misfire? We can return it back to stock, take it to the dealer. It still has a misfire somewhere in the data. Let them figure it out. Because if it's a DI injector, another reason why Gen 2 is the best. What thought about it was on that Bill Motor Cam PMAS Intake GT500. What thought it was on the body? Bill Motor Cam PMAS Intake GT500. Oh, Whipple 170. Craig Walls. Out of all things, a Whipple 170. So not friendly for tuning, but it worked. Only issue with the Gen 1 PMAS is the heat shroud was better. or closed. People lack accountability, why they blame the tuner. What's up, Alex? Tiger Brown, what's up, brother? Sloan says, do you know if the N-gauge cable will work on the LRX or is proprietary? I think it's proprietary. I think it's totally different. There is a place, if you go to Tuner Tools, they have N-gauge cable, and I don't know if they have LRX / ProCal cables. You know what I mean? Because let's be honest, it's a ProCal. I don't know what's going on here. So this is Tuner Tools. They got a little bit of everything here. Cables. Let me just type in cable. Cable. See what they got for cables. Very cool. Yeah, Tuner Tools. If you need an extra cable, guys, this is where you go. So scan gauge, premium, N gauge. So this is a badass. I got 3 of these. I bought them because N-gauge cables go bad, and there's still N-gauges everywhere. So anytime I need an N-gauge cable, I go to Tuner Tools. No, they are not paying me to promote. When someone has good products, I promote them. Innovate, sensor cable, Kawasaki, KDS. This is a great resource. What a wonderful resource right here, huh? Great. Just cable after cable. So if you have a cable that you need, maybe if they don't carry it there, you have to go back to the manufacturer. But let me see if there's a ProCal cable. ProCal. Let me see if there's a ProCal cable in there. No, doesn't look like it. But if you need cables or weird stuff, I think Tuner Tools is a great resource. These little sites like this, to me, are just wonderful because, you know, you don't need to buy the whole fucking bundle. I'm just going to buy, I got 2 extra cables lying around. I got 2 extra N gauges. I'm never going to need a tuning device ever. Whipple 170, that has never given me an issue. I am surprised as well, Craig. Exactly, Craig Walls. And now I have another guy, Nick Andropoulos of Got Boost, New York. Same tune, Bryson. Your car. Same tune. Copy, paste. And guess what? That bitch don't idle for shit. Happy customers, just give me speed density. I agree. 1050Xs are fire. I'm livestock. Nicholas Borelli, don't give a fuck. Senor Tapatillo Cuenca. I'm getting my ass beat by PBP tune cars, same setup as me. I don't know who the fuck PBP is. Maybe you can't drive. Watch it be a manual car. Or he's 300 pounds. TDC stream later tonight? Bro, at 10 p.m. you want me to do a TDC stream? I'm going to die. Boundless Black says, 2 intakes in 1 bank. Someone needs to show me the engineering benefit to this because I don't believe it helps. I agree. Hey, Alex. Am I wasting money for a built 10R to run 1,000 horsepower, or am I just going to be running into problems all the time and get longevity out of it? Longevity depends on how much you race it. How much do you race it is directly correlated as to longevity. If you race 10 times a year at a track, meaning 4 runs each time you go, yeah, you're going to rebuild it that year. If you race 2 times a year, meaning 8 total track runs and mostly street shit, it's going to last you a long time. Depending on who built it. Park Performance says, you losing doesn't mean you have a bad tune. Dude, driver skill, weight, rear and gear ratio, traction, etc., etc., etc. Come on, dude, get with the program. They don't want to hear that shit. Auto, 6-speed, 165. So 6-speed, manual, auto, 6-speed, 165 pounds. Are the cars sitting the same? Do they both weigh 3,800 pounds? Do they both run the same fuel? Do they both have the same gear ratio? Sorry. Everyone is quick to blame the tune. How about do some work and make your car faster? Make it lighter. Make it hook. I'm getting beat by another guy's tune. Meanwhile, he has 355s and doesn't tell you. Has 410s, he doesn't tell you. My red car had a GT350 intake manifold. Hey, Senor Tapatillo, let's spend time on you. What's done to your car? Give me the whole setup. What's done to your car? That's your fucking problem. You should race it in D. What's done to your car? What should a Gen 2 auto with the following mods run in the quarter mile? 350 intake manifold, 350 throttle body, PMS 120, 6F converter, 373s, and a drag pack on E85. What should it run? Go. What should a 350 manifold, PMAS cold air, or 120 millimeter cold air, 87 millimeter throttle body, 6F converter, 373s, and a drag pack run in the quarter mile. 6R. Go. Tell me what it should run. My shit was 11.2. My shit went 11.2. And it should run 10s. Let's be honest. It should run 10s in better weather. Ah, there you go. So, your car, Señor Tapatillo, should run 11.2 or 11.3 in the quarter. Because it's the same shit I had. 350 manifold, nominally better than a 18. 100 PMAS, E85, full exhaust, catless, 305 tire, some weight reduction. I went 11.2 with that. I went 11.2. Boosted cars are in the 10s. Pump gas, 10 PSI. So, I don't want to hear that it's a tune issue. The tune that was on that red car was the production fault. I went drag, drop, let it go. I didn't do any bullshit. And I was beating cars that I should not be beating on that red car. That red car was the truth. Because I'm not an NA guy. I don't give a fuck about NA. But the fact that in Florida, remember, this car never saw 40-degree weather. It never saw 30-degree weather. It never saw 50-degree weather. It saw 85 all the time. And it went 11.2 at 120 something. And it cut a 145 or 142 60-foot time. Don't tell me it's a tune issue. I had to do a little bit of work. Like, yeah, let me get this tire. Let me check this converter. Let me install a trans brake. Let me make sure it shifts at 7,800. Let me make sure the converter it was perfect. That car was perfect. Stop it. We didn't start the fire. No, we didn't light it, but we tried to fight it. Jesus, the fire jokes. Opinion on DS's one-piece aluminum drive shaft. Okay, I am afraid of aluminum drive shafts at this point because of my trauma. Prime example was beef. I love you, bro. I love Nardi. He, for whatever reason, he's dying on the defend the GTD hill. You know what I'm saying? P-Par for mine. John Nardi said it's 6,000, but car shifts at 7,000. Okay, John Nardi was wrong on that. Senor, but your butt dyno's wrong. Do a draggy with you and D, and you shifting on your own, and look at the difference. Alex, I have a 24 F150. I have a twin turbo coming on Saturday. Predator injectors only. What power should I expect? 10 PSI, 650. Pretty straightforward. Is the car tuned with the correct tire size you're running? Yes, dude. The car's running. The car's shifting at 7,500. It's not your tire. It's not the tune. It's by you. You are select shifting. You are paddling. This is not a DCT. The car is automatic. Let it shift automatically. Select shifting. Paddle shifting. Paddle shifting. 142. That's a 1080 car in good. Fuck, let's go. Let's find it. Red car. Red car. PBIR running 11.2. Red car Alejandro Flores. PBIR. Boy, Alex, you gotta fucking find this shit. Is there a? Yeah, I do have a. I have a playlist, Alex. So go to the playlist. Red car. Oh boy, I don't like these playlists, to be honest with you. I think the playlists are shit. Is there any more? Interview ZR1, red truck, YOLO, white 19, show clip, red car. Here we go, red car. Whoa, Jesus Christ! Oh my God, my ears. Fuck me. Okay, red car. Flex, stock, shootout. What is the most important? I don't know why I put Joe Rogan. Converter, red car, get pulled over, or take advantage of good air, and draggy test. Draggy test. Yeah, I thought the red car traction. Do I go to the track ever? Fuck me. I'm always fucking around on the street. Then I sold it. Red car Jean Grey runs its best time yet. 2015 all motor.
Car launch at 2,000.
Let me see what's going on here. Oh, this is I think me doing draggy shit like a dumbass. 11.4 on the street, and I did a 178 60 foot. Look at that, 11.4 draggy on the street, and I did a look at the what's the temperature? 144 miles an hour. Stupid. I am a stupid son of a bitch. Let's go back and listen to this run. Let's see. This is a dig run. Listen to the motor bear down because of the converter lockup. 7/48. And it 11:42. So, but I have gone 11.2 at the track, but I can't find it for whatever reason. If somebody can, oh my God, Jesus, I can't. I'm glad I got rid of that fucking intro. Bryson or somebody, I am tasking you to send me a link to the 11.2 run at PBIR with the red car. Thank you. Can't do it live. 11.2 in Florida, humid swamp is 1090s in Hero DA. I didn't go to Maryland on November. I don't have access to Maryland in November. Maple Grove in November. I don't have access to that shit. I don't have access to Bradenton in January. No, red car lived at PBIR. To his defense, I have a 6R80 and lose everything went in D. In Sports Select, then throw it in D after 2 gears seems to do the trick. Mike Max, you're also a non-driving motherfucker. Then why am I the only guy that never select shifted and the car ran deep 11s? Deep 11s. I don't know. Am I the anomaly that let the car shift in D and ran great? And if you're roll racing a S550 6R80 car against a 10R80 car, you are going to get fucking destroyed. The 10R80 car is simply quicker. Let's not forget a bunch of those guys lie about their mods and actually there is no honest racer. Hey, what do you got done? Oh, I got 315s and a stock converter. And I got an 18 manifold and a PMAS go there. 1700s, M1, M5, 410s, 8Q converter. Hey, stop spamming, senor. We know it's you, not the tune. Your tune that's in that car, I gave to another guy, and he went 11.3. He literally copied the red car. I said, drag and drop. And he goes, hey, I went 11.3. Wait, so a car with the same mods and the same tune went 11.3? My car ran the same. Alex put it in drive, foot, brake, and let it shift. 11.3. Shifter had a wire loose. Wow. Hero DA, way to flex, run your stuff in the heat, then flex when it runs a number. Right. Hero DA does not impress anybody. Every single time I see a guy go, yeah, man, this thing went 960 and it was 39 degrees outside. ZR1 guys, I'm looking right at you. ZR1 guys that live in the Pennsylvania, Maryland, Jersey, Delaware area, I am looking right at your face. You guys hide that car until fucking October and November. Don't fucking lie. Here we go. Oh, cool. Very good. Oh, we got a different intro here. I might have to copy this one again. Here we go. Okay. Look at that car. Look at that car. Cool car. Cool car. I mean, dead dad in the trunk, rest in peace. Cool car. I had fun in that car. It served its purpose. Great little car, but it had to move on so I can progress. Oh, let's go. Sorry. .51 60 foot. And there goes a Hellcat. 151 60 foot. The nostalgia, gentlemen. The nostalgia. And that wasn't that long ago. Let's see what I ran.
Allow check engine. So awesome.
The the check engine light was on, and it was because of the misfire, and I didn't shut it off because of the trans brake and the two-step. Fix that.
Two-step. What are you gonna do? 1123. So
Fuck! 1120, not 1129. 1123? Let's see if I talk about the.
Look at the change, and cooler night helps out.
Let's watch the burnout, guys. Look at that. Look at that. I've done it all, kiddos. I've done it all. Crazy how it didn't sit there and slap the throttle 15 times to get that. Look at that car. Look at that car. I daily on that fucker like that with Hoosiers, with the white walls like Unk. Didn't give a fuck. By the way, that Camaro was like an 11.5 Camaro. It was pretty quick. And I think another 151.
I don't think it gained anything in not 30. Yeah, 1132.
1132. So it went 1123, then it went 1132, and I'm hoping that I could see the time slip, but I don't think I could see the time slip. Burnout, run. Let's see it one more time. This is a nice angle. I should have kept that. I should keep that angle for racing again. That's a nice angle. Yeah, so it slowed down by the end of the night, 153. Pretty interesting. Like your first lick was usually the best one. And then the darker it got, the later in the night it got, in Florida, this weird thing happens where it gets more muggy. So the best time to go to the track in the summer is 6 to 9. Once it gets dark, clouds, sun disappears, it gets way humid and you lose time. Pretty crazy. Good stuff, though. The best is when people tune their shit in the summer here in Florida. When it's 40-degree weather comes in, everyone gets lean coat or kabooms their shit. Race Red is the go. I miss my 13 GT Race Red. No, everyone. Alex was on Stock Springs. Stock Springs, kiddos. No Vikings even. Nothing. No Vikings. I know those wheels. Those are not your wheels, bro. Those are not your wheels. Those are S71s from Senior. You got my wheels way after that. You had my wheels way before that. Red is one of the best colors. Definitely not a stock Hellcat. What happened with the big at VMP sticker? Oh, I ripped that shit right out when they tried to fuck me on the car price. Man, I hate people who do that throttle tap bullshit. Trans brake on the red car. Trans brake on the red car. 6F converter. And I actually have a video called Trans Brake, installing a trans brake on my 6R80 Mustang. And I end up testing it like in the rain or some shit. Let me see. Yeah, here it is. Is it here?
Car doesn't make a ton of power, so I wasn't expecting the thing to absolutely blaze tire, but I'll show you the GoPro footage.
Let me see.
Starting to lurch forward, 1800, then let go.
I installed the trans brake on my 2015 10R80 Mustang. Interesting. So I actually tried it. Like, did I like let go at 4,000?
Trans brake test. See if I could burn up the trans and then get out of here.
Oh, look at that. I got GoPro footage of the trans brake test. Dude, it's like an archive of everything, every trouble everyone has. Just go to my channel. I've done it all. Oh, no, that's not trans brake. Oh, that's before the converter. Jesus Christ. Trans brake 6F Alejandro Flores. And I think it went to 40 something hundred, like 6R80. Let me see, because I remember I watched that video the other day, and it was fucking. It was real cool. Is this it? No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Oh man. Anyway, it's in the rain. Here it is. Ultimate headers. Is this the one in the rain? Let me see.
It goes to almost negative or zero slip.
I think someone here, I forget the converter. Who gives a shit? I think it was a trans brake. Yeah, so this is a foot brake. Okay, this is good, guys. So you guys want to know how high you can flash a 6F converter foot brake? I think it's 3,800.
So about 4,000 it flashes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna step on it and see where the needle stops, and the car starts to go
Let
forward.
me see if I have a trans brake set.
Car, stopped without throttle converter. You don't need to make any changes unless you want different oil pressure situation than
That thing is chop. Listen to that thing chop. Remember how this thing used to sound?
it to start. Once the engine now
People right now are like, how do I get my car to do that?
I think I can get to about 4,000, so we'll see before the tires start to break loose. 3,100 or so. I'm gonna. It just doesn't stop.
I just floor it like an idiot in the
Car
rain.
starts to go forward. It just does it everywhere.
Did I do-
3,000.
Did I do trans brake? I hope I did trans brake.
So what I'm gonna do for it because. And
Yeah,
that'll be basically
yeah. This will be the trans brake test. Look at how high I can get up on the trans brake.
how high I can go with the trans brake. So let's see. So 4,000.
Yeah, so this car was launching at 4,000 on the trans brake NA with a 6F converter. So, a lot of people ask me questions and I'm like, boy, everything's on my channel. So I'm kind of blown away that people sometimes are like, I can't find it. And I'm like, I don't know. I took about 2 minutes during the show and found everything. Yeah, I had the dumps right after the header. It was wild. VMP tried to fuck you? No. They basically, we had agreed on the price on the red car. And then he was like, well, I provided the block. I'm like, no, I provided the block. Well, it's got this. We agreed on. We shook on it. That's like a contract. Then they tried to get me for another couple $1,000s. And I'm like, you know what? Deal. But include a set of headers, right? So let's say we agreed on $30,000, right? Okay. Everything agreed, $30,000. And he's like, well, I talked about it. I think I should get more money for it after we shook on it. And he's like, oh, I should get more money. And I'm like, we shook on it, bro. And he's like, well, I provided the block. No, I provided the block. I sent the block to L&M. They sleeved it for me. Mike Whedon was going to build the motor. But you promised me a running, driving car for $30,000. And he's like, well, I think it should be more money. How much more? A couple thousand more. And I'm like, only if you include headers, right? He's like, okay. Now, the deal was I was going to drive around all of South Florida with a VMP sticker on the car. That was the deal. Free promotion. After that, I ripped the sticker out. Deal is over. You tried to raise the price on me. Put some headers in it. Thank you for the headers. Ripped the sticker right out. And I went to work the next weekend, showed up without a sticker on the car. And they were like, what the fuck? I'm like, I mean, you reneged on your deal. I reneged on mine. It's all good. Not the dumps, bro. The dumps was nuts. In the fucking rain. I didn't give a fuck. I wanted to see what it did. I needed a video to get done. Gen 2 chop is legendary. When that car had Ford Racing, which is like Borla exhaust, and the Ghost Cam tune, I don't know if you guys are ready for that kind of chop. Let me go to my channel. I'm going to go to shorts. I'm going to go all the way to the beginning because I think it was a short that I posted. And I could not believe how good the red car sounded with Ford Racing exhaust and Ford Racing exhaust and what else? The Ghost Cam tune. It was like meant to be together. And if I was to ever build, by the way, there's a black car up at Lund Racing. You don't think I'm going to do Ghost Cam turbo shit with that thing? Bro, I can redo the whole thing with turbo stuff, like next level game changing shit. I am literally stalling so that I can get down here and see. Oh, here it is. Cold start. One of my first shorts. Cold start chop with Ford Racing exhaust on the red car. Oh my God. Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? Let's go. Oh no. What are you doing, YouTube? I clicked a certain video, YouTube. Why are you doing that, YouTube? I literally clicked a certain video. Why are you doing that? Right here. Right here. Look at this nasty, gross engine bay. I didn't give a fuck. Again, that is a Gen 2. So if you want it to sound like that, you gotta configure it like that. That car was badass. Chopped just right. I posted the link, Alex. Thank you, sir. Dumb question. Have you ever noticed difference between long tube headers? I'm having a hard time deciding on what ones to buy for my Gen 1. Sure you have data. Ultimate headers that I have bought have never given me installation issues. Every header is gonna make the same power. LTH, Texas Speed, Cooks, ARH, Bobo, whatever. Installation time, by far, Ultimate header. I got to see the hacked up fuel system video. It was definitely a shitty install. Super late to the live, it says Randy Savage. We have a 2024 Trans van with a V6 and it had random misfire. Dealer replaced all coils, spark plugs, only had 4,000 miles. Thank you for letting me know. I'll let Joe know that. Was that a 93 or 85? That car lived on the 85. I wouldn't be such a... That car did everything right. And then when it left, I kind of was like, I needed the money, meaning I sold it for $20K and I owned the car outright. But I was like, man, that car was cool. But every car I've sold has led me to bigger and better things. Was that full exhaust setup at that time? Was that the full exhaust setup at the time? It had Ultimate header, X-pipe, Borla / Ford Racing capback that Lund Racing sold me. And that thing had the Ghost Cam tune with the 6F converter. What supercharged combo is the best for street digs, rolls, and either? Whichever one allows you to hook. If you have a loose enough converter, any centrifugal can happen. By the way, I'm going to do this giveaway on Tuesday. I don't think it's a big of a deal, but back in the day, there was a, oh shoot, am I not? Yeah, I'm live. Okay. I'm looking at this thing here and it looks like it's delayed. So I'm like, what the hell's happening? Let me see. Let me go. Okay, I'm live. Good. I was like, why is that so delayed? So, back in the day, a certain supercharger company would give away metal. I'm not going to put the name out there, but I'll give one letter away. Yeah, I found this because it was in one of the kits and I was like, oh shit, I had one of these. So I might do a giveaway. This is a metal decal for said, non-Lund repping company. So I might do that giveaway on Tuesday. Nothing today. I'm just zonked out. I don't want to like worry about giveaways. But what did it run in the Nürburgring? Exactly. One day we'll see the stock long block C801 chopping like that. Inches 7/8 headers always. Meek needed the money. Diddy clip. You are not wrong. We can always have a Diddy clip. The Noble Riot. What? I don't even know what the fuck this means, man. Thoughts on getting a new F-150? I have goals wanting to mod it. What's your thoughts and opinions? On what? On what? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Do you not have clearly defined goals? Do you not know what you want? Do you not know what you want to do? Why do you want to buy an F-150? What can you do in a new one that you can't do in an old one? This isn't that channel where we're just going to bro out. I need clearly defined goals. Alex, I want to run 8s in an F-150. What should I do? You buy an 18, you put a turbo 400 behind it, you put a built, whatchamacallit? You put a built, I am losing my mind. Fast forward, FFRE engine in it, twin turbo, and you party. Built 10R80, you spend about $100,000. I don't know what you want to do. Ass tuning. If I did a how to rebuild video on the MTD2, would you guys watch it? Not much out there on how to do it. Yeah, but it has to be kind of mildly entertaining or ridiculously detailed. It has to be very detailed. You put this, you get this button, and this is the order that it goes in. People will watch it. He just hates his money. Go for it, Mango Brian. You got nothing to lose. Giving away the Ops logo? Absolutely. Go buy Subaru. I bought a car. Thoughts? Yeah, exactly. I bought a car. Thoughts? Hey, Alex, I want to eat breakfast tomorrow morning, but I can't picture how I'd feel. Thoughts? Let me ask you a question. Where is he? The Noble Riot. I'm going to ask you a question, and this will tell me everything I need to know. The Noble Riot should answer this question only. If you didn't eat breakfast this morning, how would you have felt? How would you have felt if you didn't eat breakfast this morning? The Noble Riot. How would you have felt? What is this? Dude, where'd you get that fucking bat? Motherfucker. Where'd you get that bat? Give me that bat. You son of a bitch. Where the fuck did you get this bat? Guys, look at what this son of a bitch sent me. You might as well have sent me a naked picture of Sofia Vergara. Where the fuck did you get this bat, sir? Is it a 3330? Is it a drop 3 3330? You son of a bitch. He has an orange stealth. That I think you have to register with the NRA. Those things are dumb. He's putting me in the spot. Oh my God. If you didn't have breakfast this morning, how would you have felt? The Noble Riot. I was told to buy this car and just wanted the clout. Thoughts? Alex, I bought a Mustang. What tires? But I always eat breakfast. Answer the question. Don't wait for the translation. Stick shift source halfway delete his videos. Guy went dark. Stick shift source halfway deleted his videos? I don't know who that is. I've asked this many times to different people, but I want scalable power for mostly street use, all but to get down and dirty in the quarter mile. I'm thinking of centrifugal because I'm not rich, and scalability. You are correct. That's a good thought process. Very good. Alex likes certain baseball bats. Noble already failed. Geez, the test even works over text. That's not the bat I was expecting to see. Classic bats on eBay. Alex batting cage video. Poppy, please. I have batting cage videos on Instagram. Yeah, the IQ test. If you didn't have breakfast, how would you have felt? Okay, if you're listening to this on replay and all the stuff, he's in the spot. If you're listening to this on replay, ask anyone around you, how would you have felt if you did not have breakfast this morning? And honestly, oh man, that's like the worst answer. This is a very simple question, the Noble Riot. I'm asking you a very simple question. Like super simple. How would you have felt if you didn't have breakfast this morning? He said, I would be struggling. I need that fuel for the gym. You're not getting flamed. You're learning a very valuable lesson. And this is good. You are learning. Just answer the question. All I need you is to answer the question. That's it. And there's only one answer. There is only one answer. So if you guys have friends and you want to know what their IQ is, just say, if you didn't, how would you have felt if you didn't have breakfast this morning? How? Oh, man. How would you have felt if you didn't have breakfast this morning? Oh, okay, that's fine. That's acceptable. That's acceptable. See? But the answer is hungry. Because even if you had breakfast this morning, you can at least put yourself in a position as if you did not. And you can go, well, if I did not have breakfast this morning, I probably would have felt hungry, a little cranky, lethargic, whatever. There is only one answer. Alex, I received the butthole pic from 4. What should I do? Maybe depending on the orifice of the butthole, was it a -8 or a -10? So, did you ask him a question about fuel lines and all you got back was a butthole pic? Well, if all you got back was a butthole pic, it was probably a line size recommendation. He said he would be sad. Hungry is the correct answer. Oh God, this hurts to watch. Hella hungry, right? He's like, I didn't ask about breakfast. I'm trying to learn about trucks. I love it. This chat. Look, you got to understand. Everyone gets flamed once in a while on this chat. Wasn't it El Verga Larga that said traps and mile an hour weren't the same thing? And we said, what does the car trap? And traps is mile an hour. And then I think he tried to play it off. So like, no, I meant, and then by that time, we were already just bulldozing in on him, and we're like, you know, everyone has that moment. This is yours. It's all good. Look, I'm terrible at charades. Y'all can't put me on the spot like that. Wait, but you were in the spot earlier. Now you are on the spot? For just 30 cents a day, you can sponsor a child. Dash 8, but he said the butthole pick will work just fine. As long as it's not a Gen 3, one bad bullet. If it's a Gen 3, put more gear in it. Okay. Motherfucker got serious here. Yeah, that was him. Yes, he was like, oh, he said, what's the card traps? Fast, quick. That call fast. See, if you got a 5-second call 60 to 130, that call quick. But if you got a 4-second call 60 to 130, well, that call fast. If I want to make more than 650 with my twin turbo at 24 from 50, is my only option triple pump injectors? 2, obviously. No. High octane fuel. You know, are you guys as shocked as I am that people forgot about race gas? People forgot about octane booster. Like the moment E85 came out, it skipped a whole generation. So if you are Gen Z now, race gas is E85. I remember Cam 2. I remember C16. I remember C10, I think it's called. So people are like, well, can I only do 10 PSI on 93? Yeah. Well, how much more can I do on E85? Well, infinite. But I don't want to upgrade my injectors or fuel system. Race gas. What? Yeah. MS109, C10, Sunoco 260 GT. There's so many. It's just really expensive. But there is a whole generation that has skipped that. Like, I made 798 rear wheel horsepower on my centrifugally supercharged Gen 3 with a stock fuel pump. Well, how's that possible? How's that possible? I used Sunoco 260 GT, 19 degrees of spark advance, and about 14 pounds of boost. And it made damn near 800 rear wheel horsepower on a centrifugal supercharger. So it's possible, but for whatever reason, a whole generation just got skipped and went right to E85. And I was like, damn, these people don't know that there's race gas out there. Motherfuckers mix fuel nowadays. FTW purple, that smell. C16 Sunoco 260, exactly. Crazy because this twin turbo Hellcat went low 4, 60 to 130, and it's a manual. That's pretty quick, but is it fast? I've got shit 91 where I'm at. I'm going to get race gas to boost my 350. Chuck says, I made 800 on a 23 single cab short bed. With a stage 2 Whipple 3.5 pulley 93 octane Octanium. Pushing the limit, but it can be done. Absolutely, I agree. 800. Well, you're psycho. You went 8. You made. You're a psycho. Alex, I just shit at the gym. What do I do next? Start the workout. Derek says, seeing that check engine light flash on the watt pole on the F150 was a shock. Makes me love my 16 F150 so much more. Imagine you have a $73,000 truck and you go watt for the first time on a stock tune, stock mods, nothing done to it, and the check engine light flashes, and I check and it's a misfire. Bad times. Sunoco 260 is pump gas technically. Why do people think Sentries sound good? They do. With a cam tune, with a cam low idle tune, really good. A non-specific Sentry charger, exactly. You got to mix the octane booster with the 85. Stop it. Don't say that. People will believe you. Big block chopping, making 500 up, assaulting you nose with grapes. Dropping light catch reaper later. Alex, put a black tux on for a job interview. What do I do next? Oh my God. Remember when KC526 told the mechanic to wear a tux for a job interview? By the way, she is all up on these investment sites. So if you're like an investor, she is all up on that shit. Never have seen an actual picture of her. But I suspect that there's, something back there. Super Crew, thank you. Best part about race gas is you don't got to do math, right? He also has a strain gauge on his Hellcat. Oh my God. Strain gauge. And he just put an auto in it, Amir. Oh my God. So it's typical T50, 15 pounds should be 900 horsepower. Oh my God, yeah. Easily. 15 PSI on a fucking 350? Hell yeah, it should be 900, no problem. 2 pounds of torque, but it'll make that horsepower. The plugs look like they had 186,000 miles on them. Playboy says, why is the 7th to 10th gear considered a weak spot for the 10 or 80s? Size of the clutches. What is percentage of ethanol in E85? Hey, Alex. So the E85 in my area tests a little weird. So I might not be able to get E85 because the E85 is testing at 60%. So it's E60? No, listen. The E85 is testing 60%. So it's 60% ethanol? Yeah, but the E85 is testing at... Oh, shit. That's usually how it goes. All right, guys, I'm out of here. A little later start, but we got it done anyway. So we covered why I think the newer F-150s and Mustangs aren't any better than the previous generations yet. I think there is a lot more things to distract you from what the actual vehicle is. The nannies, the screens, the infotainment, the heat seat, the heat ventilation, the AC, all the nannies that makes it comfortable. But the car in and of itself, transmission, tuning, shifting, engine. If I'm driving a 25 F-150 that misfires on the stock tune, that tells you a lot about the Ford quality that is out there. I'm out of here. I will see you guys on Sunday morning for Peasant Chat. All you guys that want to talk some shit, you can do it on Sunday morning. We talk with the peasants at 9:30 a.m. Probably going to keep that schedule for a long time because it seems to work pretty well and I can get my day going and we'll talk shit with the peasants then. And I will try to release a video on the F-150 for the PMAS. That's right. I put a PMAS on it and I tested before and after. Even though it was misfiring, I needed to get some data in there. I'm hoping that Donnie has a 24 F-150. So once I tune that, we're probably going to do stock cold air testing versus PMAS cold air testing so I can get a proper video on a well-running truck as opposed to one that misfires. But I'll get you data on this black truck, the installation of the PMAS, all that stuff, the data. It did go quicker with the PMAS, just, you know, it's misfiring, so it's kind of a skewed test, so whatever. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys on Sunday, and be on the lookout for videos dropping more than likely Saturday or Sunday night on the F-150. See you guys later. Bye.